Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we are going to discuss the fact that many of the footage, pictures that we come across when dealing with cryptids and even UFOs to a point are often faked. Don't get me wrong, they make for good, entertaining viewing. But unfortunately, a majority of these videos just they're not real. These pictures, they're not real. Oftentimes when they're analyzed, we can see through one use or another that they are faked. Many images on ghost footage. If they say, "Oh, I'm personally affected by ghosts," there could be a number of things that can be explained in videos. Often, one of the things that are used when talking about moving objects that seem to be moving on their own is invisible wire. Well, it's not really invisible, but it's so thin to a degree that it's more or less visible. You also have optical illusions that make uh, when footage can be made to look one way, but in truth, that's not what it's doing at all. And of course, we have the good old fashioned Photoshop. Images or footage can be changed, altered. There's a number of potentialities. And that's not to say every bit of footage is that way. There have been a number of pictures or videos that have been researched by those who are educated in these matters, how to check footage to see if it's been tampered, how to uh, examine how certain things work. One of my favorite shows on the Science Channel um, try to recreate events in footage, or they would talk scientifically about what scientific anomalies may be causing the effect in the footage. You know, again, I spoke of optical illusions. One of the most interesting uses of optical illusions, even though it may look, even if the person filming the incident may not be trying to fool anybody, is when a car goes uphill without use of gas. You know, we often hear these legends of uh, cars, trucks, buses moving if the vehicle's turned off and the parking brake is disengaged. We hear talk of it moving uphill as if it's being pushed. What happens though is there is an optical illusion. It makes it seem uphill, when in truth, it's a gentle slope. You know, you look at it with your own eyes, you're like, that is clearly uphill. But in truth, if you put measurement to it, it's usually downhill. We find this with legends of cars or buses or whatever having been pushed, and thus the road is haunted for that reason. You know, there are so many incidents that we need to be more, I guess, skeptical to a point of. You shouldn't be willing to accept things at face value without, you know, giving it a little proper observation. Look for explanations. When you begin to run out of explanations, when it defies any of the potential explanations you're able to give, then you really have something. Don't get me wrong. Again, I've said this already, but a lot of these videos and stuff are just fascinating entertainment for the entertainment value alone. But we need to be willing to look at things in a critical manner. When we can start breaking things down and going, it's not this, it's not this. Could this fit the line? No. You know, that's what we need to do. But again, don't be afraid to accept the fact that it may be something of an unusual or unexplained manner. Because some people are so skeptical they refuse. to accept anything, even though, explanations that have been tossed out have been proven to be non applicable to the footage. The Gimlin Patterson footage is a good example. Some people claim, oh, it's somebody in a costume. There is no evidence of it being a costume, especially during the time of the filming of the video, which was, I believe, the late 60s? Late 60s, early 70s, somewhere in that era. You weren't going to have any CG effects. The footage is unaltered that we can tell. And there is no evidence that the figure in the video is someone in a costume. Now, this is something that, okay, we have no definitive, explanations. What could this be? That's when you have to look at things and go, okay, we have something here. But yeah, that's all I wanted to really talk about in this video, about the need to be critical on footage, but, don't be so unwilling to accept the fact that it may be something beyond what we understand, that, you won't accept, the fact that any of the offered explanations really fit. But I'll go ahead and end this episode here. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll see you all in the next episode. Until then, later.